Awaken, rise, and shine, beautiful soul. I am so happy to be making this video this afternoon about surrender. It's such an important part of our spiritual journey, of our human experience here, through life on earth. And I have experienced what it has felt like. That's my dog. My dog's down here if you hear growling or weird noises. But I've experienced layers of surrender. What does it mean to surrender? A lot of people that I work with, my clients that come in ask, I don't know how to do it. And I remember the first time I was practicing surrendering control, the need to control the outcome of everything, the need to control how things worked out. I was so scared because I was a single mom, mortgage, kids, 3 different children, all different needs, running in different directions for everything, trying to just take care of everything. And how was I going to surrender control when I felt like I was the one that had to control everything? So I remember getting on my knees and, praying and saying, oh, I surrender and everything. And it was a beautiful experience because I was very vulnerable. And I know that it did help me to allow Heidi to get out of the way and to allow my soul to guide and to lead me, to help my team of angels and guides and beautiful beings to say, this way, it's okay. It doesn't have to be so hard. Because trust me, I was making things very hard for myself at that time. So who isn't? Again, we have to love ourselves and love the fact that we're all in this together. This is such a beautiful growing experience of expansion and awareness, waking up and remembering and realizing that there's just so much more to who we are, and that we are these powerful creators, and that we can create our own reality. We've just been doing it so blindly or unknowingly, and now we can start saying, wait a second, what do I want? Oh, wow, I don't have to carry all these burdens and all of this, heaviness and all these obligations that aren't mine anymore. Really? Because we've been doing that too, and it weighs us down. So a few things that I want to talk about with surrender, which I believe right now in this time is so important and valuable for us, to really help us to let go, to get out of the way, so that we can allow that divine collaboration from our soul, from our higher self, and just synchronicities to come in, which is divine, coincidences, where it's like, wow, this happened, and then that happened, and then this happened, and how cool is that? That's when you're in alignment, because everything is flowing and it feels so good, and it has everything to do with your vibration, of course. If you're vibrating in a higher frequency, then there's timelines, realities that are in that higher frequency, which I love, because then we can do it with intention and purpose to raise our frequency. Again, I'm getting sidetracked. We're talking about surrender. So with surrender, there's the part of us that can let go, and sometimes it's hard. We might be crying, we might be kicking and screaming, but we're letting go of the attachments emotionally, mentally, and physically that we have with our children, with our parents, with our lovers, our exes, our friends. We have these attachments, and we have these expectations of how things should be and how they're supposed to go, and we get so involved with them because we do love and we care for them. We want what's best for them. Or a pattern of Heidi's that's been huge in my life is wanting more for others than they want for themselves. And it's not our life to live. But anyways, we take on these attachments. We take on these responsibilities and obligations, and they're not ours. They're not even ours to carry. The ones that we have are about taking responsibility of who we show up as in this world. What energy are we bringing to the planet? How are we contributing to the well-being of it? What choices and actions and decisions are we making that are contributing to the well-being? Not lowering the vibration or creating backtracking, let's just say. It's all good. We're all here doing our very best. And there's nothing that we're doing wrong. It's just being intentional and how we can contribute to the greater good. It's such an amazing feeling, and it feels so good. So part of surrendering is doing that, saying, God, creator, source, universe, whomever it is that you call for your higher source. I say source, but it's within you. I surrender and I release anything and everything that is not serving my highest and greatest good, and the greatest good of all. And that is your highest and greatest joy, your peace, your happiness, your well-being, your prosperity, your ability to love and celebrate life itself, and to be aligned. And so I surrendered into the light of God now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you're letting go, and you don't even have to name it. You don't have to say what it is. God knows what it is, but you're using your free will, which is your choice, to say, I'm releasing and sending this into the light. I no longer choose to carry the burdens and the heaviness, the fear, the weight of it, because there is density in it. And it is heavy and it does weigh us down. This is when we become conscious creators and we take accountability and responsibility for who we are and how we are showing up in the world. And it really does feel good. You may instantly start crying and you don't know why, because there's such a release. And you might feel this sense of relief, like, oh my gosh, you might feel lightness actually instantaneously happen. I've experienced it. I've experienced also when I have, that's my dog, when I have released outcomes and attachments that I've had to my children when they're going through difficult times. I had to, and I was told by Spirit, I almost felt like I was slapped in the face. That's what it felt like, but they were just getting my attention. This is not your experience. This is their experience. And you must let go of the attachment that you have in order to allow them to have the freedom to create and live their life the way that they need to, without our burden of our fear or of our expectations of them. And it set both of us free instantaneously. Was I kicking and screaming on the inside? Sure, because I was afraid of the outcome, or I wanted it to be different or better. But again, that was me in my mind, not in my heart. When you drop down into your heart, that's where everything is in complete total cooperation and collaboration with all that is. Your soul's going to say, oh, this is so great. Look how they're growing and learning. Look how they're expanding. Wow, this is such a huge part of their spiritual journey. And we're going, wait, what? No, it should be this way. It's supposed to be that way. That's when we're up here. So surrendering and letting go of emotional, mental, and it can even be spiritual attachments that you have to someone. You're setting them free. It could be a person, a place, or a thing. You can set it free, and you can name it what it is. If there's something that you are aware of that you are so attached to that you can't let go of, that you don't feel you can set yourself free of, and you can also use it as a form of forgiveness. I surrender this attachment that I have to this experience or this person or these experiences. They're so heavy for me to carry, and I'm sending them into the light. I'm sending them into the light of God now. Thank you for taking this away from me. And then when you do that, you can feel more light coming into your body. And sometimes it takes time to feel that, but it's about taking that responsibility. Anyways, the other one that I realized, and yesterday it was a big aha moment for me, and knowing that I've been practicing surrendering over and over and over. Sometimes you have to do it 15 times a day. If that's what you need to do, it's okay. You're not doing anything wrong, ever. You're not doing anything wrong. There's no wrong or right with your spiritual journey, and everyone has their own path. But I was watching this video yesterday, and I don't know if any of you know who Bashar is. I encourage you to look up Bashar Daryl Anka. The messages are always so enlightening and beautiful and come from a very high intentional, pure place and a very high vibrational frequency of love. And it was about surrendering, that you all think you have to surrender control. No, your life is already in control. Your higher self, your soul, is guiding you at all times and beyond what you could ever imagine. Paths of least resistance. They know what's bigger and better for you than you possibly ever could. We're trying to force and make things happen, and we're trying to figure it out, and we're trying to make other people do what we want them to do because we think that that's how it's supposed to be. And so much of it comes from limitation. So much of it comes from outdated beliefs or experiences. No, it has to be this way. That kind of surrender is, I surrender my free will, my choice. This is a big one. Not everybody's ready for it, but I surrender my free will to the free will of my highest and greatest good, my higher self. You know the way. You've always known the way. Lead me, guide me, and please show me. Now, I've done that many, many times, but not like I did yesterday. It was in a different awareness because I'm brand new. We are all brand new right now. We have so much more light in our bodies. I was able to do it in a way that I never have before. And this peace and freedom came through my body. And I'm like, Heidi, you silly goose. You don't have to control and know how to do everything. You don't have to figure it out. And the beautiful thing about our awakening and your own spiritual awakening is you have these aha moments where these big bubbles, sometimes they're like bink, bink, and other times you're like, oh. they rattle you and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And that was one of those where if you're old enough or young enough, wise enough, I had a V8. Remember those commercials? That's what I had yesterday. And it was so cool. And I'm like, thank you for that message. I obviously needed to hear it, but to let go of the reins, Jesus, take the wheel, that song, or imagining, just being in a canoe, and instead of trying to paddle against life and try to figure out which way to go when we're looking ahead and we're like, oh no, if you just pull the oars in and just lean back and let your soul guide and lead you, and there might be rough waters, but you're always covered and cared for. So the layers and the levels of surrender are so valuable to us. And we are more free than we could ever imagine being. Everything has always and will always happen and work in our favor. But what are you doing to collaborate and to cooperate with everything that's happening in your favor? You're a beautiful, powerful, genius being, and you have everything inside of you. All the answers are already there. But when you start realizing, with more light coming into the body, you start to realize, wow, I'm so much more than I could have ever imagined. How can I cooperate with my higher self? How can I get out of the way? How can I allow? What are my passions and joys? What do I love to do? That's your soul talking to you. That's your higher self saying, this is who you are. This is who you are. You enjoy it. You love it. Little, big things, all of it. It's just as important as eating, sleeping, and breathing, doing and being the things that you love. It's just as important, I promise you, it is. And we all realize it in our own time. And when you're actually making and taking the time to do that, to surrender, to let go, to journal, to write, to feel, to get up and dance and shake your body, get all that energy moving out, or go exercise, kickbox. That's something that I really love to do. Maybe some of you are runners. Some of you, you can journal and write anything down. And again, unedited. If you're not a big cusser, you might be when you're releasing and you're just getting all the F's out and you're getting all the everything out. Let it go. This is a time to release and let go. Try not to loop. Drop into your heart. Breathe. Call on your team. Everything is always working in your favor. You are such a powerful, incredible being. And you are so important in this beautiful universe. Yes, you. And you are worthy and you deserve the very best of the best. You are the very best of the best. And you deserve to experience the finest things in life, great or small, simple or extravagant. It does not matter. You deserve it all. And how good can it get? How exciting is it in this time? We're creating a new earth of connection and of integrity. Who are we when no one's watching? Who are we when no one's paying attention? No one would ever know if I did this or said this or behaved this way. No one would ever know, but who am I? That integrity, it's rising up through us. And the connection is rising up through us to unite and to become one and to love each other and to help each other. And again, there's also going to be a lot of people in our life that are vibrating out. We just don't have the same connections. They may not be aligned with where we are right now. And it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that we don't love them, we don't care about them, but they're just vibrating out of our life. They're going to be going and doing what they're here to do. And we're going to be doing other things. And we're going to be making new connections. And we're going to be making stronger connections that we have had with other people. It's the most incredible time ever to be alive. I love you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up, for being here, for being you. And how good can it get? Our authenticity, it's right here. Who am I? Who am I? Show me who I am. The true, authentic, beautiful, soulful being that you are, with all the colors, all the bells and whistles, all the sprinkles, all the sparkles, all the whatever you want to be. You were not created to be in the background. You were created to be in the forefront, to celebrate life itself in every now new moment. Thank you so much. I love you. Have a beautiful day.